So I want to talk about space. So when we draw and paint, and we're starting to find our way, develop our skills, and we start focusing on the objects we're looking at, we're learning how to translate these three-dimensional forms we're looking at onto two dimensions, onto paper or painting. Translate this three-dimensional form into an XY shape, right? Grid. How to render it in a way that feels three-dimensional and convincing. And as we develop that, we start to understand that in order for the three-dimensionality of the object to be convincing, we need to attend to what's around the object in terms of space. We have to somehow relate to the space around the solid form in order for the solid form to be convincing as three-dimensional form. So we start attending to the experience of space, of the space that we are, oh, these objects that I'm looking at, that space around them. Okay. So there's this aspect of drawing and painting that has both a two-dimensional flat reality and this three-dimensional spatial potential experience. And there's this 2D, 3D combo that's going on. And every image has a different set point. Some are very convincing in their three-dimensionality, and then some are very, very flat at first, and then they start to open up. Some stay flat, that's true, but more often than not, they start to have a kind of a spatial dimension. They start to open up. So I want to talk about that spatial dimension. What is it? How it works? Let's see if I can go there. So space is an experience. We experience space around us. We experience ourselves in space, and people are objects, and everything's moving through space. We have the experience of space. Space is also invisible, but we sense it, we feel it. It's part of our lived experience, space. And it is an objective experience. That is, I, the subject, am experiencing the object of space. Even though it's invisible, there's a subject-object relationship. Me experiencing space. And it is one of all kinds of experiences I have, right? I mean, my life is filled with experiences, all kinds of experiences. I have relationships, I make paintings, I I drive a car. I mean, right, experiences. And we can group all of our experiences into basic groups like, well, I have my perceptions of the world. And, so I'm experiencing the world, I see, I hear, I taste, I smell, I touch. All of those are experiences of the world. And then there are experiences I have more internally, like I have my thoughts, my feelings, I have my sensations, my inside bodily sensations. And so all of these you might call objects that I'm experiencing. Even if they're inside me, I am experiencing my thought. I am experiencing my feelings. So there's this subject-object relationship to all these experiences. And the experiences are all changing all the time. My thoughts come and go, my feelings maybe a little slower than my thoughts, but they come and go. My bodily sensations, oh, I've got a stomach ache, no, now I don't, right? I feel my feet, I forgot about my feet, all of that. What I'm seeing, and then I turn away and it's gone. Perceptions come and go, sensations come and go, feelings, thoughts come and go. But what doesn't come and go is my awareness of my experiences. So every experience, there's the content, there's the object, and then there's the awareness of it, the awareness of the experience. So without an awareness of the experience, I don't know that I actually have that experience. I don't think that can happen. So the awareness is always here. I'm always experiencing, and the content is constantly changing, but the awareness of that content is always steady. It's always just here. And it turns out that space is a very close experience to the aspect of awareness. It's always here. It's invisible. It's has no boundary that it just goes. Everything happens within it. So there's something about space and the experience of space that lends itself to the experience of awareness directly. That is, when I stand here and allow myself just to sense the space of the room, nothing fancy. There is a parallel or underneath opening of awareness itself, just being here. And when we start to attend to the space of the still life and the objects in it, there is a kind of quiet, expansive quality as I receive the situation and the space around it. there's a more aware, attuned relationship to the still life, to the situation. And as I bring that sense of space to my drawing or my painting, that drawing or painting starts to hold that spatial experience, which reveals itself as we attune to it to be an expression of awareness. And so we receive the painting or the drawing, and there's this possibility of it refreshing us. Oh, yeah, that's a great painting. I'm really glad I saw that. You know, and it's like our whole system kind of just opens. So I wanted to bring that as a kind of context for the experience of space, both as we experience it like around us, but also the role it plays in our drawing and painting. And I wanted to bring that before going into the exercise itself. But before I do that, if anyone has any thoughts or questions about what I just said, I'm happy to have a little conversation. It's not necessarily a familiar way of coming at it. So if anyone has any questions or thoughts, feel free to ask.